Good day to you, child of God. It's been a while. This is the Remnant Seed Bible Study channel, and welcome. Got one today on paradise. Is paradise heaven, or where is heaven? What is heaven? What is paradise? We have a direct reference to it by Christ when he hung on the cross between the two thieves on each side. And I don't know what better witness you need other than when Christ himself said to the thief, when the thief said, "Remember me," Christ said, "This day you're going to be with me in paradise." This is a direct quote from Jesus Christ. How many other witnesses do you need to the fact that paradise is heaven? And heaven, there's probably many names you could give it. But it's all the same place. And beloved, there's two sides to paradise. It's a great gulf, as Philippians 1:23 explains and Luke 16:26. There's a great gulf in this place called paradise. And I don't know what it looks like. Luke describes it as a great gash. It's probably some type of a dividing line. And you cannot cross it once you get there. There's no way to cross it. And good old Lazarus was in the bosom of Abraham on the right side of the gulf, okay? And on the left side of the gulf was the rich man. And beloved, this is the only place that you could explain where people go when they die, whether they're the goats or the sheep, unbelievers or believers. Sheol, Gehenna, Hades, all explain this place, the left side of the gulf. This is the only logical conclusion you can come to as to where people go when they die. It's not really that complicated, beloved, but people try to complicate this subject, and it's not really that complicated. Christ himself said, "Goats over here." Here's my left side, my right side, if I know my left from my right. The goats over here on the left, and the sheep over here on the right. Goats are unbelievers, sheep are believers. There's a great white throne judgment, and there's the judgment seat of Christ, the Bema judgment. Okay, it's not the Bema seat, it's the Bema judgment. Bema means seat. So these people that, go around calling it the Bema seat, all you're doing is repeating seat twice, okay? It's the judgment Bema. Bema means seat in the Greek, okay? So you got two sides of the gulf, left and right, goats and sheep. You got two judgments, the judgment seat of Christ and the great white throne judgment. Both are 1,000 year more than 1,000 years for all the people who've died in the past. Everybody who dies in the past has went through the judgment seat of Christ. The minute you die, Christ is right there, and he is saying, he's got the books open. Then he knows exactly what you did. And if you're a believer, you go instantly to paradise on the good side of the gulf. If you're an unbeliever, or if you're evil, there was only two sides. You go over here on the left side of the gulf. And it's a place of departed spirits. And yes, there is weeping and gnashing of teeth and cast out into outer darkness. If you're on this left side of the gulf, you realized the failure that you engaged in while you were alive, and you never acknowledged God or Jesus Christ as your Savior, and all that comes back to you, and you are just weeping, gnashing your teeth. You are tormented in your own hell. You are in absolute torment. You're not swimming around in a lake of fire. This is absolutely just insane what these people claim, the way they read and interpret Scripture. We just have a spiritual romper room in the church nowadays, beloved. It's absolutely just appalling what is taught in the pulpits, that you're going to go to a lake and you're going to burn for eternity, swimming around in a circle in this lake, screaming bloody murder, while everybody in heaven is floating around on clouds, pointing at you like, look at old Uncle Henry down there, look at old, whoever, and they're swimming around this lake, and everybody's like, yay, you're getting punished because you didn't accept God. No, that's not the way it works. Revelation, the book of Revelation tells us that God will wipe away all of your tears. There'll be no more sorrow, no more pain in heaven. And that to me just does not describe the heaven, the glorious heaven that we're all going to. Paradise will become eternity after the great white throne judgment. And basically, I believe they're one and the same. But if you go on the left side of that gulf, it's a place of outer darkness and shame. You are an absolute shame for your failure. And that's the whole concept of hell. I don't know how I can make it any clearer, beloved. So I'll go over this. I'll do my usual script. But beloved, I've been off for a while, and I wanted to tell you I'm done with my third book. And it's called Bible Questions Answer, The Hidden Manna. 613 pages. I have special chapters on this very subject, death, hell and the grave, body, soul, and spirit. This is one of the most confusing subjects in the church today, and I think I've done a pretty good job of explaining it, beloved. For some reason, the Lord has made this crystal clear to me, and it's not really that difficult. So my book will be ready for purchase. I wish I could just give it away, beloved, but I can't. It'll be within 48 hours. It'll be available on Amazon Kindle, and I'll put the links up in this video, and from these videos coming forward, I will make that link available to you. So let's get into this. Now, it's just a basic, is paradise heaven? And yes, it is, beloved. It's heaven, okay? Heaven is wherever God is, okay? And Christ said to the thief on the cross, you're going to be with me in paradise this day, today, okay? And so what does that mean? It means that Christ is there, beloved. It means that Christ is there. And you got the Greek number 3857 is paradeisos. It's a park or a garden. It's described as a park or a garden, and this could be the paradise of the original creation, the Garden of Eden. You could describe that as paradise as well. And then you have Pardec, which is the Hebrew number 6508, means the same old thing. Now here you got the verse, Luke 23:43, and Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. Beloved, you don't need any other explanation of where heaven is. Christ tells you right there. And we got God himself, who is none other than Jesus Christ, telling us where and what it is, all in one verse. But we have other witnesses. And then they're found in 2 Corinthians 12:4. How that he was caught up, this is harpazo, when you die. Okay, the separation of the soul and the spirit, of the soul spirit from the carnal human body. This is harpazo. Caught up into paradise. You die and then you go to paradise, and heard unspeakable words, which it is not lawful for a man to utter. It's almost too much for the normal man to really handle how great this is and where we're going. And also how bad it can be if you go on the left side of the gulf. It's unspeakable, being cast into outer darkness and weeping and gnashing of teeth and tormented for your own failure, beloved. And now we go to Revelation 2:7. And he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. This is heaven. It's paradise, beloved. Revelation 22:1, and he said unto me, and he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. This is paradise, beloved. In the midst of the street of it, and on the either side of the river, there was the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of nations. This is heaven, beloved. It is paradise. Yes, paradise is referred to as a garden, but in Revelation, it's described, it's a description of heaven. And no matter which way you look at it, it's the same paradise that Jesus told the thief about on the cross. And even the Garden of Eden is a type of paradise. Paradise is heaven, beloved. We need to look no further for an explanation of where the quick and the dead, the quick are the alive, they are actually the sheep, and the dead are dead to the truth. They are the goats, they are unbelievers. The quick are believers, okay? And after death and the judgment seat of Christ, immediately after you die, you're told which side to go on, beloved, either the left or the right side of the great chasm called the gulf. Goats on the left, sheep on the right. Not that difficult. Matthew 25:33, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. And both of these are in paradise, beloved. Okay? They are both there. Okay? Hell is not a lake of fire. There's no such thing as a location called hell or a lake of fire. It's a state of mind is brought forward in Gehenna and Hades. Both of them at the end of the Strong's Concordance explanation tell you that it's a state of mind. It's not a literal location. You have to get that out of your mind. And this modern church has just butchered this so bad for centuries, beloved. And it's time we stop it now. Matthew 27:38. Then were there two thieves crucified with him, one on the right and one and the other on the left. Now this is on earth when they were crucified on each side of Christ, one on the left, one on the right. One went to paradise and the other went to Hades, Gehenna, or Sheol. And this is the left side of the gulf. Now this is a further witness of this fact, is that the thief said to Jesus, remember me, was on the right side of him. And of Jesus as he hung there on the cross. And the thief hung on the right side of Jesus on the earth. And when he got to paradise, he was also on the right side of the gulf. Now this is amazing. This is brought forward, but it's hard to see. The thief that was on the left side of Christ went to where the goats go, and Sheol, Gehenna, and Hades. And the thief that was on the right side went to paradise. He went to the good side of the gulf, in the bosom of Abraham. And this is even brought forward on earth as those two thieves hung on either side of the cross. And this is a type of paradise while Christ was still on the earth, okay? While he was hanging there on the cross. And this is brought forward by these two thieves, one on the left and one on the right. I'm going to just keep beating that and hammering that, beloved. When you get to heaven after the judgment seat of Christ, heaven or paradise, you either go on the left side as a goat or on the right side as a sheep. Goat, non-believer. Sheep, believer. Okay? All right, now let's break this down even more, and we'll go to Luke 16:26. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. It's just saying neither side can go on the other side. That's just it. Okay, you can't cross that great gulf. There's no way you can cross that gulf. Okay, the goats are on the left side and the sheep are on the right. Okay, paradise is one side and Sheol, Hades, and Gehenna is the other. It's just that simple, beloved. And then you got Philippians 1:23, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. Now Philippians is telling you where Christ is. He's on the right side of the gulf in paradise. And the goats are over here on the left. They are separated from Christ into outer darkness at this time. And this is all in paradise. This is all in the place called heaven, where there is a great gulf between the goats and the sheep, believers and unbelievers. Both places are in heaven, beloved, in paradise, okay? I hope I've explained this to you and made this clear to you. These verses tell us all we need to know about where the quick and the dead go. The quick are believers and the dead are unbelievers. Unbelievers go to Sheol, but believers go straight into the bosom of Abraham. And the bosom of Abraham is another Hebraism telling you, you made it. You went to the judgment seat of Christ and you were found worthy to enter into paradise and even immortality at this time. And beloved, after the great white throne judgment, which is at the end of the millennium, the great white throne judgment is reward for believers. It's a judgment of your reward. But the great white throne judgment, there are still people that are mortal at this time, and if they make it, if you don't make it after the great white throne judgment, you are found guilty and you will be sentenced to the second death at this time. And this to me is proof that there are still mortal bodies, people that are mortal throughout the millennium, because they're given another chance through the millennium, beloved. And if they are found wanting at the great white throne judgment, this is when they are sentenced to the second death. And they are completely and utterly destroyed. This is what the word perish means in John 3:16. If you have decided you don't love your Father in heaven and you don't want to be in the family of God, then you are sentenced to death, the second death, and you are literally blotted out as if you never existed, okay? And that to me is that is the ultimate separation from God for all of eternity, and it is for eternity, okay? This is final. This is the final judgment. And God, at this point, has given you every opportunity to make up your mind freely if you are going to follow Jesus Christ. Okay? So anyway, beloved, that's the end of this lecture, and we will see you on the next one.